Today we are with Colin from Legacy Juiceworks. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Great. It's been nice seeing your business grow over the last few years. Walk us through how you got started and a little bit more about where you are today.
Absolutely. Thank you. First of all, thanks for having me here to talk to you about Legacy Juiceworks. We began a little over 5 years ago in 2013. My better half, Crystal, who's the co-founder of the company, had the vision and the idea that cold pressed juice was a very big growing thing in New York City and LA. And there was an opportunity on Broadway in downtown Saratoga to open a little cold pressed juice bar. And that's what we did back in July of that year, right next to one of our restaurants. Within a couple of years of running that, it was a lot of better for you type products. You know, a lot of people are in search of wellness products, and to have something like that downtown was very convenient. Grab and go, smoothies, cold pressed juice, and healthy food snacks and so on. But we were getting a lot of reaches out for wholesaling some of our products to places like Skidmore College and some stores, you know, smaller independents locally. And we realized the marketplace opportunity was quite vast. And we decided, you know, with the 200-year legacy that Saratoga has as a wellness destination and selling a red-hot product like cold-pressed juice, that we would open up a wholesale division of the company. So we went out in the marketplace. We started closing accounts like CVS, Hannaford, and some places down near the city. And we did produce in a facility in Saratoga the wholesale products, but we found a co-packer in New York.
Great.
Started working with them and started closing some much larger accounts. So CVS stores, for instance, today has us in 60 stores in Boston, 100 in New York City, and we're rolling out right now to an additional 100 in DC and Baltimore, with Philadelphia on deck. We are in 55 Wegmans stores, Hannaford, 100 stores, and so on. So with all the traction that we were getting, we decided we had a relationship with a co-packer in Los Angeles. So a year ago, we moved to LA, Santa Monica, and we developed the business there with co-packing, wholesaling, distribution, and we're in some of the top retailers in the LA, San Diego area. Having set up proof of concept for the company, where we're selling extremely well in that marketplace, as well as expanding here on the East Coast. We now have moved back to New York, to Saratoga, and we're in the middle of a capital raise as we see the company potentially growing to 5 to 6 times what we're currently doing within the next 6 to 8 months.
That's fantastic. Tell me how, before this, obviously you had some restaurants in Saratoga. How did that experience prepare you for this business?
Well, definitely we were on the front lines dealing with the public one-on-one, and we love people and interaction with them. And, you know, people come in, they want to have a good time, a good meal, a good experience. So it was tremendous for us over the 20 plus years that, several restaurants we were in to, grow individually and together as a couple in that type of business and establish long-lasting relationships with both local people as well as the people who visit Saratoga annually in the different seasons. How it, has helped us in what we're currently doing is even though we're wholesaling, we still feel a connection to the individual consumer, whether that consumer is a price shopper, and we're reached out to with emails and so on. We really like that type of connection. It's all about the customer satisfaction. Customers are in pursuit of something, and in this case, it's a wellness product. So we want to be very authentic and true to what what the product says and is in the bottle. And that it can be a functional beverage that can help them in their daily life.
Fantastic. What was the draw for you to Saratoga? I find this to be a great community to nurture startups and to rub elbows with people in that community. What's the appeal for you?
Well, first of all, what brought me here was Crystal, my wife. We met in the city,
Hmm.
and she owned a restaurant, Hattie's here,
Hmm.
and so we started dating, and one thing led to another, and I became a restaurant person.
Great.
It was wonderful, but during the years of being here, a couple decades here now, it is exactly like you described. It's an amazing incubator space for innovative ideas and entrepreneurs, and just it's a bit seasonal. It makes it a little rough sometimes, especially in the January February
Hmm.
period. But it's drawn over the years and keeps evolving. And not just Saratoga Springs itself, but the county and the area, the region is just a wonderful region.
What advice do you have for somebody who may want to get into a food business, whether it be a distributor of products like you're doing now, or even in the restaurant business?
Well, it seems the world is a lot easier to navigate than it may have been decades gone by. There's so much opportunity out there for innovative ideas and finding a market for yourself. It's definitely very helpful to do a lot of online research and reaching out to try to connect with people who can help navigate the early stages so you can understand where to go, what to do. There are a lot of resources of great people in the community that are great, a great help to for people to develop. And the world's really small now. You can pretty much get your products out there beyond your own community. So it's nice to try it out locally,
Hmm.
and if you feel you have the vision for to go on a much larger scale, it's definitely doable. You just dig deep and go for it.
Sure, of course. Speaking of just going for it, I always find the most successful entrepreneurs have a good networking strategies, whatever works for them. So, what do you find works for you in terms of starting those relationships, building them, and growing them?
Well, fearlessness, first of all. It's so easy to sit back and say, well, I'm going to do this, but kind of get a little bit intimidated by the process.
Hmm.
You have to just basically correspond with people and reach out and go for it, because primarily, we found that people who are very successful want to be fulfilled by helping other people.
Hmm.
People are always looking to pass it along to the next person, whatever they've gained in wisdom and or a helping hand. So you as far as networking goes, you pretty much have to kind of get out of yourself a bit and really put yourself on the line a bit. Reach out and connect with whomever you can, and network your way to the solution that you need for achieving your goals.
Great. What advice would you have after having that year in California for others who see the potential in spending a year away from where they're based to gain some new experience?
Well, it was absolutely a bold move,
Hmm.
one that was not the most comfortable at the time. We have a 15-year-old who was 14 at the time and very resistant to the idea of leaving her group. She grew up in Saratoga, but we managed to make it for a year. It was a beautiful environment, Southern California and Santa Monica, and to be away actually was liberating in many regards. As our efforts are to build a wellness brand on a national level, we wanted to see everything from a different perspective, which was a lot easier when you're outside of Saratoga. But we had such an amazing team here, holding down the fort, and we could remotely work together over, communication lines of, emailing and phone calls, constant meetings on the phone, and it just worked out really nicely for us. We were able to come back somewhat victoriously and in a better position.
Tell us about a couple of the unique flavors of your Legacy Juice Works.
Well, our 12-ounce, everything that we make is 100% juiced, cold pressed, juiced, no additives, nothing at all. It's simply like if it's got beet in it, it's 100% beets, unadulterated. One of the top sellers, believe it or not, is beets with apple, ginger, and carrot. And it's super flavors, and that's very good, very, very good for you. But our top seller is the Tropical Detox 12-ounce bottle. Has carrot, pineapple, carrot, pineapple, ginger, and orange juice. It's a really flavorful. All our 12-ounce ones are very easy to consume. There's one that's green, another one that's very spicy, the Big Shot. The names are inspired, like the green one's called Spirit of Life. Stolen from Saratoga Springs.
Sure.
However, our 2-ounce wellness shots are the hottest thing in the marketplace in functional beverage right now. It's every major grocer in the country wants to meet with us or other companies like us. And those are very spicy. They're 2 ounces of intense flavors. One of them, our top seller, is lemon, ginger, cayenne, and turmeric. It's a really great eye opener. It helps fight off, fend off, like if you're feeling run down, come down with a cold or something like that. So these type of items are pretty amazing, functional beverages.
Great. What would you say might be a couple of the lessons you've learned over the years that you wish you had before you learned them?
Well, saying yes and being, on point with Crystal with any ideas that she has, and just following suit is a great way to do it. I would say, having a lot of confidence as an entrepreneur in ourselves and working, closely with my partner, you can kind of be in a bit of a bubble. Sometimes we have other people, investors, and so on. And ideally, I would say is just having everybody, as inclusive as you can in what's going on in that. It's communication when you have a team around you, making sure that you're a really good communicator of the things people really need to be aware of, everything that's relevant and important to them to do their job.
Great. What are a couple of your favorite places in Saratoga that have been started by entrepreneurs?
Well, I love the casino and the park because the park is gorgeous. So the design of the park is amazing, but to put that gorgeous building in the middle of it was wonderful. And that was, some bygone era. But we got married there.
Awesome.
It's definitely one of my favorite places for sure. Entrepreneurs, Hattie had built that lovely restaurant years ago. It's historic. A lot of the historic places in town have a lot of relevance in today's age. I think that's what makes Saratoga amazing, is to have a lot of new places along with some of the legacy places. O'Brien Inn, and not just to talk about restaurants. SPAC is amazing, and the town is and the racetrack, and all these things are what makes it such a destination place. So.
What would you like to see in this area? I think this area is a very great place to open a business of many types. Maybe what's something you saw in California, or something you feel this area could benefit from in terms of a type of business from a startup?
That's a good question for sure. We've been in the community for so long now, and coming from outside the community, we have the advantage point of seeing it through different eyes than if we grew up here, So it is a great place, and the Victorian designs are wonderful and need to be preserved. Some of the architecture, and there's a lot of talent that's gone into the design of as we move forward. But I'm a big fan of warmth in design and buildings. There's no way that we're going to be transporting any palm trees anytime soon, and the sand and ocean. But Saratoga really, I like some type of upbeat color and design that makes it warmer in those long, cold, gray months of the year.
I always like giving our guests, like a minute or two to just kind of walk us through your story in terms of how to find out more about your company, and just again, almost like a impromptu commercial for your business. So you have it.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, we feel very blessed to be where we are today. We have found a way through a lot of hard work over the last 5 years to position the juice company in a place where nationally we have a very hot product that we can go out to the market with these wellness shots. We also have developed another line of organic tart cherry juice. We're the only company in the world who has come out with one that is not from concentrate or heat pasteurized. We developed it for Wegmans, and we are we're looking forward to that as being a very relevant product to bring as a functional beverage to the marketplace. We feel honored to be in the wellness space globally. It's a major trend. Everybody is looking for better for you products, it seems, whether baby boomers who want to live forever or the millennials who just want to make sure they read and find out what to put in their body before they buy it. I mean, we're in a great space, and our goal here is to, grow a company with products that help people in their everyday lives with a higher level of energy. We have just come out with a new website, launched last week, legacyjuiceworks.com. Saratoga Juice Bar began as it did. We started wholesaling in that space under that name, but we rebranded the company Legacy Juice Works a year ago, going with a national brand. The name actually has a lot of longevity, and we actually were encouraged by Saratoga Water. Maybe another name might be helpful. So we are really excited about our website, and a lot of information's on there that can help guide people to our products and where to find us, where they can buy them, and please visit our downtown store.
Fantastic. Again, visit them at legacyjuiceworks.com. Thanks for joining us today, Colin.
Oh, well, thank you so much.